Hey guys, it's me Ida. Welcome back to my channel. So today I want to do a quick video on the 13 best ways to absorb moisture into low porosity hair. So I have low porosity hair and I love talking about this subject because I find that there's not that much information on YouTube about low porosity. Low porosity hair has characteristics that are very hard to absorb moisture into the hair cuticle because the cuticles are laid down flat and tight. So there are some tips and tricks on how you can help your hair absorb that leave-in conditioner. So number one, using the Beigey method. So this is a plastic cap, and to use the Beigey method, I just put this on my hair after I have washed and conditioned it, and I put in my leave-in conditioner. I'll put the plastic cap on my head and I'll leave that in for maybe about 20 minutes, half an hour. The longer the better, really. And I let my hair absorb in that leave-in conditioner as much as possible before I go ahead and apply the gel or the sealant like an oil, because to me I've noticed that the heat from my head helps raise the cuticles and it helps absorb the product into my hair a lot better. So number two would have to be to apply heat when deep conditioning your hair. So this can be in the form of using a hooded dryer, and again you put the plastic cap on top of your hair after you've applied your deep conditioner, and you just sit underneath the hooded dryer. This also helps me absorb the conditioner as well because it's raising your cuticles. Once I'm done deep conditioning my hair, I leave the Beigey on my head until my actual head cools down, because at least you're kind of also incorporating the Beigey method after you've deep conditioned your hair underneath the hooded dryer. Also, if you want to try a steamer, I used to have a steamer and I felt like it worked really well. Also, I've noticed like after I take a really hot shower and I don't wash my hair, just being in the washroom, I could feel that my hair is feeling really moisturized, and it's from that steam. So number three, leave the conditioner on for as long as possible. So this really applies to deep conditioners. Usually the directions will say to leave them on for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or half an hour. That will really do nothing really for low porosity hair. For me, I find that 45 minutes to an hour minimum for me to actually feel the benefits of a deep conditioner. If you can, like for me, I keep it on for hours because I want to make sure my low porosity hair actually absorbed in that deep conditioner before I rinse it out. I don't really suggest leaving it in overnight because I don't know how healthy that is for your hair to be wet for that long. Okay, so another way is to stay away from blow dryers or flat iron. So it has nothing to do with really absorbing the moisture, but it has something to do with actually retaining your moisture. The more I use a blow dryer or a flat iron, it really dehydrates my hair a lot. And with someone that has low porosity hair, it's so difficult to get any moisture into your hair. So you also want to focus on avoiding to take that moisture out of your hair. So another tip is I try to air dry my hair as much as possible. That helps me retain my moisture and it helps me keep my moisture that I just absorbed, that took me forever to absorb. So I want to make sure it stays in there. And so any type of heat is really going to rob my hair out of the moisture. So air drying for me, I notice a big difference. Like sometimes I'll use like a blow dryer on my roots to stretch out my hair. I really try not to use it because I definitely feel the difference between the moisture levels of my hair. Another tip is to use the praying hands method or the smoothing in method. So it's basically taking a section of your hair after applying leave-in conditioner and just really smoothing it in, or just, smoothing it in, or using the praying hands method to smooth in the product. That to me helps absorb the product a lot better because you're basically kind of forcing it inside of your hair cuticle. And to me that makes such a big difference because when I don't do that, I actually can see the product just sitting on top of my hair. And when I smooth it in, I see that it's penetrated into my hair cuticle and I actually don't really see that product anymore. So using a satin scarf at night helps me so much with retaining my moisture. So after I moisturize my hair at night, when I actually apply a satin scarf over top of my hair, and I tie it like pretty tight, but not too tight because you don't want to get a headache, of course, but tight enough where it's going to stay on for the whole night, does kind of the same thing where it's like forcing it to go inside of your hair cuticle. And so to me, I feel such a big difference. Like my hair is a lot more moisturized the next morning rather than just sleeping on a satin pillowcase. Staying away from products that have ingredients that build up on your hair that is going to help you absorb products better, because when you stay away from those ingredients, you are able to absorb actual conditioning agents into your hair strands. That's going to actually help you moisturize your hair. But when you actually use ingredients that build up on your hair, like silicones or petroleum or mineral oils, just ingredients like that that are going to sit on top of your hair, you're actually blocking your hair from absorbing any moisture, and that's just going to make your hair feel really hard and stiff and dry. You also want to stay away from protein as well, because that's going to also build up on your hair as well, especially if you're protein sensitive. If you're not so much protein sensitive, you can get away with using maybe smaller proteins that can penetrate into your hair, but you definitely want to stay away from the bigger proteins, because that's also going to build up on top of your hair as well. Staying away from ingredients that are going to dry your hair, like sulfates in shampoos and alcohols in gels. So like I mentioned earlier, it's so hard for us to absorb any moisture into our low porosity hair that you also have to make sure to keep all of that moisture in your hair and not strip it away. When it comes to shampoos, they're really, really important. You don't want to use any cleansing ingredients that are really drying for your hair. That's going to really strip out all the moisture, because it does take forever to re-moisturize your hair. And by the time the conditioners finally work in your hair, it's time to wash your hair again. And it's just like a bad cycle of never being able to absorb enough moisture in your hair, because you are continually depleting that moisture from using really drying shampoos. So you want to go ahead and stick to sulfate-free shampoos. And then also, again, with your gels, try to use a gel that's not so drying. You're just making sure too that you're layering your products before the gel, so that the gel is not too drying for your hair. Wearing your hair also in protective styles, that to me makes such a big difference on the moisture levels. When my hair is like in twists especially, or like braids or anything like that, where I'm actually not really exposing my natural hair too much, and it just kind of being moisturized and then tucked away somewhere, or if I'm wearing like a protective style like a wig or something like that, I notice like my hair is able to feel a lot more moisturized than when it's like out and about in like a wash and go and it's really exposed to the environment. Not only does my hair feel a lot more moisturized, I'm able to get away with not using a shampoo as often, and I can use a cleansing conditioner, which is gonna not strip out my hair as much as a shampoo would. Using lightweight moisturizers like leave-in conditioners, those are gonna absorb into low porosity hair a lot more than a thicker product would. So again, because our cuticles have such a hard time absorbing any conditioner, it just kind of makes sense to use a conditioner that's lighter in consistency, so that that's not gonna just sit on top of your hair. It's actually gonna absorb into your hair strands a lot more. Also, if you do have a thicker conditioner that you really, really like, what you can do is you can dilute it with some water so that you can thin out the consistency, so that it's going to be able to penetrate into your hair strands a lot more. Or you can just go ahead and use a really small amount and just really work it into your hair. You can use a really light oil to seal your hair. So if it's not a gel, it could be a really light oil like grapeseed oil, argan oil, anything that's really light that's not going to again sit on top of your hair strands. So you can try using the LCO method, leave-in conditioner, then cream, then oil. Or you can try just 2 products at a time, like a leave-in conditioner and an oil, a leave-in conditioner and a gel, or a leave-in conditioner and a cream. So the LOLGLC method. You can try using the Cherry Lolo treatment or something similar to that, where you're using baking soda, like a little small amount of it, to increase the pH level of your conditioner so that you're able to absorb it into your hair strands a lot more. So there are a lot of leave-in conditioners that are formulated a little bit higher than the typical pH level. Those products are going to be able to absorb better into our low porosity hair. If you guys want more details about certain conditioners' pH levels, you can go ahead and check out Natural Haven's blog, and she has like a whole bunch of different leave-in conditioners and what their pH levels are. And if you have like any pH strips at home, you can always test them out yourself to see what pH level your conditioner is at. And last but not least, you can use warm water to help raise your hair cuticles, and that's going to help you absorb the products into your hair. And also applying the products on damp hair, that's going to also help low porosity hair absorb the products in there. and also help distribute the product so that you can make sure to get every strand. But definitely warm water is the key for low porosity hair. Definitely makes such a big difference. Like, my hair does not absorb anything really with cold water. It just closes the cuticle even further, and products will just sit on top of my hair. So those are the tips and tricks that I use to help my low porosity hair absorb the conditioner. Any other methods or suggestions you guys have that you guys do to help absorb conditioner into your hair, please leave them below in the comments so we can just all help each other out. And yeah, if you guys have any questions at all, please let me know. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.